religion. I'm not gonna join the Baptist church. That's right. Gonna be a Baptist preacher so that I won't have to work. Well, I'm in the pulpit, jumping up and down, 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 down. Yeah, I'm in the pulpit, jumping up and down. Okay. Well, I've been hollering good news all the miles around. My sister jumped up now. Ooh, she began to grin. Yeah, she did. Well, my sister jumped up. Ooh, she began to grin. She said, good Lord have mercy. Please forgive me for my sins. Forgive me now. Please, please, please. Oh. Gonna join the Baptist church. Climb up this mountain, shine down upon our world. Get me religion. Gonna join the Baptist church.
Hello. We just thought we'd like to tell you how you can help support this podcast. If you like what we're doing, we've come up with a way to help us support it because there are certain costs involved, and we can't keep using Joyce's credit card. She's flipped. She's gone off on one. And so we've joined buymeacoffee.com/Finnegans.
So if you want to support the pod, all you need to do is go to that website, and there you can buy us a pint.
Buy us a pint. It's costly pint, Tom.
It's a £5 for a pint. It's Southern prices. Blame the Tories. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Or secondly, you can become a member at Finnegan's. And so you give so much a month. And there's 3 different tiers for that. The first tier gets your name in the credits at the end of the podcast. The second tier gets you a shout out during the pod. And finally, the third tier gets you on the wall.
Gets you on the wall, lad.
On the wall,
Put 'em on the wall, lad.
So we've got loads of ideas with the pod, how we want to develop it and see it grow. But if you would like to support us, it's always going to be free, the podcast. But if you'd like to support us, then you can do that by visiting buymeacoffee.com/Finnegans.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Evening, Thomas.
Back in the bar.
Back in the bar.
Welcome to Finnegan's.
These Wednesdays don't half come around quick, Tom, don't they?
Every week. Like clockwork.
Yeah, the boss.
But this is the last one before we have another season. This is our season finale.
Yeah, season
finale. It's a big deal, this.
Yeah, it is. This is a massive one. And we've got a great guest tonight that we had to bump at one point to get the MP of Bootlon. I felt
bad about that.
I felt really bad.
I
really like this guest.
Yeah.
Some of them I'm not too sure about, but this one,
this is a winner, this one.
And we had to bump him for Peter Dowd MP. and I felt bad because it took us a while to get him because he's busy.
He's a busy
busy
boy.
man,
Yes.
you know. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
It's going to be a great night.
It is.
Welcome to Finnegan's. If you've not been in before, the vibe is we're just hanging out in the evening in the bar, secret
bar, yeah.
location.
We don't normally sit in a pub with microphones in front of us,
No,
like,
but we do
we
tonight.
do here
Yeah.
on a Wednesday. Yeah, so
Why not?
yeah. And what do we think? We're back on the cheap stuff, aren't we?
Carling.
Yeah, I guess last week brought us some really dear
So
beer, didn't
Ben Jack came last week and he bought us a Manchester
something
ale, but it was Indian pale ale, but then
Yeah.
it was a double, so it was a dipper.
and a
Triple, so it was a tipper.
tipper, yeah, triple filtered or triple something.
I don't know what that
it was.
means. Funny
It was-
Manchester
It was
thing.
10%.
Nice.
10%.
You need one of those, don't you?
Yeah,
We do.
Wow, it was. We sort of got Michael on there without even like.
Let's
introducing him.
welcome Michael.
Yeah,
Get throw him up, Jack. Jack's in. Michael, lovely to have you in, mate. Thank you so much for coming to do this tonight. What a superstar!
Yeah,
Pleasure.
absolute
So good
superstar,
to see you guys.
legend, Michael Leyden.
And we're gonna talk to Michael about all sorts.
We're going
tonight.
to, we're going to.
But-
I feel like it's a bit. I feel like this could be like a heresy trial, Tom, for us. You know, because he's like proper Anglican, like proper theologian,
Yeah.
like the cleverest theologian
So-
I know.
So what I would remember about what Michael would say was, you'd be in your lesson and you feel like I'd feel a little bit intimidated because
So would I.
yeah, Alan would feel very intimidated, rightly so. I'd feel a little bit intimidated, and so I'd be there, and Michael would you'd draw us in, you'd say something like, who would think this about this certain thing, and you'd think that sounds reasonable.
That sounds good. Yeah.
I put my hand up,
Yeah.
and then you'd drop the bomb where you say, well, actually, you would have been burnt to
Hung.
death in the 16th century for that. We're just going to throw grapes at you in the 21st, but no.
It's a shame we stopped, to be honest.
The, the public burnings and that.
the
Yeah, yeah.
stonings,
Yeah,
the
the Baptists. Yeah.
identifying heretic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
reckon I'd be good at that.
We could bring it back
Do you know,
instead of cancel culture.
tonight,
We could bring it back.
let's launch it tonight.
Yeah,
I'm up for
relaunch it.
Yeah.
How would,
I
how would we
remember-
punish people? What would we do nowadays? Would we still?
know.
I don't think you could burn people to death
It's
anymore.
a bit
Can you?
hard. That's
A bit harsh.
isn't it? I don't know what we do. We take their phone off them for a
Oh, for 10 minutes.
bit, for a year.
Hell. Yeah, turn off their Wi-Fi.
I remember being in a lesson and you'd asked the question once. You said, "So in the beginning, yeah, what was there?" And one of your students went, "Nothing," and you went,
Oh,
"Wow,
there's your first mistake.
101, 101 of theology in the beginning." God.
Oh man, it's so true. I'm still doing it now as well. I've only got the same old trick.
That's
You
amazing.
literally got her.
True story.
Rachel, her name was. I don't know her second name, but her name was Rachel.
It's a true
She won't be
story.
watching it, fine. She's a vicar now, so she
Yeah.
made it.
She
made it.
passed. She didn't
passed.
believe in God. It's
In the
not a
beginning, what was
prerequisite
there?
anymore.
Before creation and everything, in the
Nothing.
beginning, what was that? She went, nothing. You went, oh. 101 of theology.
Schoolgirl
God.
error.
Yeah.
She's like, no,
True story.
don't tell the bishop.
The threshold is low in the church.
That's-
It's
well-
not like Baptists.
Well,
No,
I
you
don't know
wanna-
where
you
the
want to see the Baptist threshold. We're like superstars in the Baptist world. Can't win a competition, but for the innovativeness, whatever that is,
Can't say it.
can't even say it. Never mind, yo. But we're superstars apparently.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I believe it. Actually.
I'm nervous though because we thought the bar was higher for the Anglican
Yeah.
church and lower for the Baptist. But if you're low as well, maybe just the bar's low in Christianity.
It's grace. Isn't it? It's all
Grace. That's all grace.
That's it.
That's it.
Very
Well
good.
done.
Well, give
Wish
us.
you'd have had the same sort of feelings when you were marking my essays. It's all grace. You passed.
I maintain you used to sit and say nothing in my classes, and
Yeah.
then 5 minutes later he'd come out with something profound when the moment had passed. It's true. Don't you pretend?
No, I couldn't do it, Michael. I was done, honestly.
Like Father Jack in the
It was
corner.
all the reading. I couldn't do the reading.
Yeah,
The
that's
reading
fair.
was a
But it's a lot of reading.
No,
It
there's
is a lot of-
loads in the MA. If you think it's
Oh,
bad in a
okay.
BA,
Well, okay, all right.
BA,
you
you
had
can
it
get-
worse than me.
you can get
sure.
away with skim reading on
Well,
a BA.
you did.
I know I did, yeah.
Some
You
people
can't
read
do that
deep.
on the MA. Trust
No.
me. You can't do it. You've got to read. And,
Yeah.
and it's like,
There's nowhere to hide in the MA. It's
No,
too
there
small.
wasn't.
It's too small.
and I was like, yeah, I've been
Yeah.
found out. You have been weighed. You have been measured. What is it? What's that saying?
I don't know. I just
You
want to
have
hear
been
you
found
butcher it. I
wanting.
want to hear you butcher it. What film
Yeah.
is it from? Pretty Woman. What's
Oh,
that?
feels
from?
like it was
It's from A Knight's
Gladiator or
Tale.
something.
It's
A
A
Knight's
Knight's
Tale.
Tale.
Yes,
Is it when he
Knight's
falls off the
Tale.
horse?
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have been found wanting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they say it a couple of times, don't they?
It's
a bit
also
of
from like the Old Testament.
Is it?
It has,
Of course
it's-
it is.
yeah,
we knew that.
We knew that.
We
We
knew
were just
that.
testing you.
You carry on, boys.
Which book in the
We didn't
Bible
know
was
if
that
you
from,
were,
Al?
you were an Old Testament scholar. We couldn't quite work it out.
No, not primarily.
No.
You know, I have read it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
the odd time. Yeah.
So, but the thing that
Anyway.
kept Alan in college for longer, and we've got some, was I'd
Oh,
say was
Barbara.
Barbara Russell
Oh,
with her crumpets. Barbara's in this evening,
Queen.
Thank you, Barbara.
and she sent.
Comfort Barbara has sent us.
Do you know
some
what though?
crumpets.
But how are we going to eat them?
Yeah, they're
Can't
the bit-
even. Alan will eat them raw.
I
He'll,
will,
he'll
like,
eat the pack as
I
well.
will now. Oh, what's eat the pack? Give me
I mean the packaging.
Give me a give me a tub of butter with them,
Yeah.
and I'm golden.
Yeah.
Tell you,
Thank
that's
you,
it.
Barbara.
Thank
That's
you,
very
Barbara, so
kind.
much.
Is Jim watching tonight, or are we still
Well, it's
too
still
wild for him?
for Jim. Yeah.
Nice to see you, Ray. Good to have you in, Pete. Nice to see you, Mikey. Wait,
Mikey.
Mikey's saying, wait, Alan can read.
She hear you.
He couldn't. That was the problem. That was the problem.
She hear you, Mikey.
Good to have you in. Give this video a little share if you're watching on Facebook. Like and subscribe if you're on YouTube.
Yeah,
It's the series finale.
it is the series finale, but it's not the end.
It's not the end.
This isn't it.
It's not the
Party's
end.
over.
It's not the end.
No. Did I not tell you it's
Do you
not
know,
the end?
basically, it's the end of the season
Because
whenever Alan goes on holiday, which happens 4 times a year.
minimum.
So where are you going tomorrow?
I didn't want to tell the world, Tom, that
I
was
wanted
away.
you to tell the
You
world
know,
that
I
you're
was
away.
Rob me out. You know,
Party at
that's good, isn't it?
Leave me a key.
I'm going. Oh, I'm going to Barbados.
That's not even the song. That's
It is a
you've
song.
embarrassed yourself. It's Ibiza.
No, that's the remix of it, you idiot. It was 10cc.
No, it's not. Is
Wasn't
it,
it
Michael? Have you heard
10cc?
that?
I'm
Was
not
it-
referencing
No.
this.
Someone,
I'm not
Ray,
referencing
you'll
it.
know it.
Go
Tell
on.
us what song it
Could
was.
someone in the chat who's
I'm
old
sure it was 10cc or something like that. Whoa, I'm
Type-
going to
type really slowly with one
Barbados.
finger?
Was it Barbados? You shut up.
And that's where you're going. Barbados.
Yeah, and
Very
then they
good.
ripped it off for a beta.
This has already got boring. So
Yeah.
you're going to
I'm going on a Caribbean cruise.
Ah, it's
Yeah.
nice that.
The wife was underpaid for 5 years, and she got a bit of back pay, and so we decided we'd blow it all in
Very
one go.
good. One go.
So that's what we're
Going
doing.
on a
Going on a
Holiday
Caribbean
of a
cruise
lifetime.
tomorrow.
I would call it a holiday of a lifetime, but you do it 4 times a year.
You're only jealous because you can't go on
I
holiday.
can't. Well, I have to
You
go
can't afford it
camping
because
with
you've got 3
kids.
kids. It's your own fault. It's your own fault. Your own fault having 3 kids. You
It's
can't
not my
afford
fault.
Nothing when you've got
Is
kids.
my wife in before I talk?
It is your fault. It
She
is
is
your
in.
fault. It is your fault.
Venga Boys. Thank you, Emma. Not 10C.
No,
Venga Boys.
that was the Ibiza one. That's the rubbish version. That's
Mikey
like saying
said-
Madonna wrote American Pie. I mean, come on.
Mikey said, oh, here we go. Dan, we're going to Ibiza was by the Venga Boys. 10cc did Dreadlock Holiday.
Yeah, which is Barbados.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan, for clearing that up.
Thank you, Dan, lad. Sort.
But Mikey says the Venga Boys Ibiza version is the only legit version,
It's
which
not,
I think is
Mikey.
fair.
It's actually rubbish. That is literally. I mean, I remember. I think the Scissor Sisters did "Comfortably Numb" by Pink Floyd, and just murdered it.
This is yeah.
They murdered it.
I remember when I went with some music college.
Madonna, American Pie,
I went-
terrible.
Yeah.
Before I went to
That's true.
theological college, Michael, many years ago, I went to music college, and every day we would warm up to the Scissor Sisters. What was that one? Dun, 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 dun.
I don't know.
Okay,
You obviously couldn't play.
Michael, you're a musician, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Harmonica, blues.
Oh,
blues.
nice.
Bit of drums. Used to play drums. Jazz.
Very good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit of
You a musician,
Jack.
Jack?
Jack's in.
Not at all. Neither am I, mate.
Whenever we see Jack, he's eating food here, which is his first meal of the day. What's on
And
the
it's
menu today?
Quavers.
Quavers. I've
Massive
never seen
pack
a
of
bag of Quavers. Pass us that bag of Quavers.
M&M's.
See, that's not an individual sized portion, that
What
Jack.
you'll notice is
It's gone.
never effort
Didn't
as
share
one.
any M&Ms.
one.
Let's see. Gone as well.
He's
Kids
not hungry,
today.
though. He's not hungry
Kids.
though, anymore.
He's nutrition. That's the nutrition 5 a day.
So what have
all
you been up
sorted.
to this week, Thomas?
Well, I
We
wanted
haven't
to say,
finished our
I did want to.
seasonal finale, have we? Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, it's not over, is it? It's not like we're not going to do nothing.
Oh, okay. So next week,
Thank you.
we've got Carl Beach. So if Carl Beach, head of CVM, it's like Christian Vision for Men.
Yeah.
We did a pre-record with him a couple of
did,
like maybe a
yeah.
month ago or so.
Maybe.
Good episode, and also Steve Legg. who is
them out for the
they're
2
going out
weeks.
for the 2 weeks. Yeah.
Very good. Very
So
good.
you can listen
So
to
Steve
that.
Leggs, Sorted magazine.
Incredible guy. Jose Mourinho gave him 50 quid to start Sorted magazine.
I mean, 50 quid wasn't enough. Like,
I know. It's tight, that.
But it's good. It's a good story.
It's a nice story.
Jose
absolutely.
Mourinho sponsored Sorted.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so,
Kickstarted, sorted.
Yeah. 50
Oh.
quid.
And the other thing is we've
Nigel Benn. Oh, Ben not Rooney. Yeah. Sorry.
Nigel Benn.
Yeah.
Oh, this was part of the
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
is it?
Ben not Rooney.
Okay, all
The
right.
episode.
Also,
Sorry.
we'd like to say thank you. We've got buymeacoffee.com/Finnegans.
yeah,
It's your way to support the podcast. We had a whole load of people buy us a pint the other week. This week, someone bought us a microphone. Look at that. That is that's another level. So,
I mean, and now, so I get a proper mic like Tom now.
So when
know
we
what
got
I
the
mean?
first microphone, it was obviously going to be used by me.
Yeah,
But
clearly, because he's the Tory, and this is trickle down economics.
but
Yeah.
if Alan's voice is slightly less grating for you today, that was the money very
Money well
spent.
spent. Yeah.
But we can't. It's
They
a
said
nugget.
anonymous.
It's anonymous.
It
They
was
don't
a
want to
nu-
be.
a
I mean,
nugget.
I think that's brilliant, isn't
Yeah,
it?
no,
If
I
I
thought it
give,
was
I want
amazing.
people to know it was me.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, I want to take all that.
I mean, it's more than what Mourinho give, isn't
Yeah,
it?
50 quid.
One of
we
them
had
was more than
this.
what Mourinho give.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're about 90 quid, aren't they, or something like that?
And also, do you know what we've got? Haven't we?
Oh,
to try
yeah.
and we've quite enjoyed people buying us pints,
do.
haven't we? And now
We did.
microphones.
Stop
We're
buying
thinking,
us Carl and
what
buy
else?
some decent stuff. Someone bought us 5, didn't they?
Five.
Which is-
How
it was
did we
Barbara.
split that?
It was
It was
Barbara.
Crumpet Barbara.
It was Crumpet Barbara.
How many crumpets in that pack? 6 for you.
6,
3
3
each.
each.
You do the math. So we basically thought this is nice, people buying us stuff.
Yeah,
so
we
we
love it,
thought
yeah.
let's incentivize people, and we look at
I feel-
that.
I feel like I've got sugar daddies everywhere today.
That's terrible. That.
That's
I'm not-
amazing.
So we've got these beer mats made up. Look at those.
Look at that.
And
Look
on the
at
back.
that.
We-
Yeah.
So we're giving these to people who support the podcast
We're
on
going to, yeah.
Buy
These
Me a
are
Coffee.
limited edition.
They're
aren't
limited
they?
edition. There's
Because
only
we've
so
got
many
Tom's
of them.
coleslaw still on it. Emma's fuming that he didn't change the picture. He took a picture of himself with coleslaw
I didn't take a picture of myself.
on his face, right? And
Oh,
and
man.
thought, oh, no one will notice.
And
No
that's
one
been
will
the
notice.
logo for
And
the podcast.
Everybody's noticed that
Yeah.
Tom's
Well,
got
I
a
didn't
scabby
think-
mouth. Yeah.
What I say is basically, I do have cold sores fairly regularly, so I
You
think
haven't got
that's
one
an
now.
accurate representation of who I
Yeah.
am, what I'm about.
I noticed you've cropped your head a little bit, so it's not as big. Left mine flat. I've noticed that. Noticed you did that. You took your chubby cheeks out a little bit here, haven't you? Hey.
Oh, I've just put weight on.
He's left your extra chin on.
I
He has,
did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's done. Yeah.
You could take that out with Photoshop, but
Yeah, but
I
you
chose
didn't.
not to.
No, you chose to leave it.
I zoomed
Took
it in a
yours
little
out,
bit.
look.
I made your head a little bit bigger and
I
pushed
can
it
see.
forward, and I slotted mine back a bit
Yeah, I can
so
see.
that it looked
Yeah.
more normal.
Yeah. What is it? This is bullying.
Of you.
Yeah.
Scabby mouth. Yes, Mikey, that's what I have to put up with. That's what people are saying. Scabby mouth.
Yeah.
Take your mama out, Tom. I'll take your mama out, Tom. Yeah. That was the Scissor Sisters song.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Thank you,
Okay.
Mikey.
Yeah.
Mike, I can tell Mikey's of my generation.
Yeah,
'cause
so
you're-
can I.
He
Mikey's
Very
one of your
good.
vicars.
is.
Oh no, I've met
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Cool,
He's a
man.
good lad.
He's a good
He's all
He
lad.
is a
Mike.
good
He's
lad.
Fun lad.
Yeah.
He used
He
to be a
is.
Baptist in our church,
Oh, did he?
and then
And then
he
he
like
saw
went
the
to the
light.
dark
He
side.
knew.
Oh, right, okay.
He went to the dark side. Yeah.
Anyone called Michael's decent though.
Well,
Standard.
It's a given.
yeah, yeah.
Here we go.
Wow.
Dan Bellamy saying Steve Legg, Nigel Benn, and him had a meal once.
Ah, he might have helped him.
What
We
did you
better
have?
not talk about it.
I
because
can't even. I mean, you've got a
Oh,
better
yeah,
memory
but-
than me. I can't even remember what that
Nigel
was
Ben.
about.
Nigel Ben dug his pond in his garden.
Is that what it was?
That's what it was. I mean, who has Nigel Ben round to dig a pond for you?
I got you to dig my extension.
You did, yeah. That's about as good as you
Yeah,
get.
if I'd known Nigel Ben was available.
He's been working on his extension today. He's getting
Thank
an
you,
extension
Dad.
if you
Dad's
don't know.
watching.
Your
Thank you, Dad.
Your dad is a
He's a
star.
saint.
He's a
He's
star.
a saint.
And Tim, he's moaning that he's tired. I'm guessing you probably done most of the work because I've seen him at it. And he borrowed me nail gun and all that type of
Oh,
stuff.
nail gun. Have you ever had a go on a nail
Oh,
gun,
yeah,
Michael?
yeah.
It feels so good.
Yeah.
They're just brilliant, aren't they?
I mean,
Yeah,
the
like a
kids
real man.
really had to run to get away from it.
You know, if you put a thin piece of ply in front of them, you can shoot through them.
It's great.
So when they're running, you can still get them.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Oh, so
but he's
yeah.
moaning. He's like, just before we come on, you know, he's all energy now. Look at him. He's all energy, but he was like,
my chins.
I'm so tired. Oh, me hands.
Well,
This little Judas is praying hands.
I'm not
here.
used
Never
to-
done a
well,
day's
that's
work
it.
in his life. Right?
These are praying hands. These aren't building
Yeah,
hands.
I know. I'm loving it. I'm loving it that you're done in.
Well,
That was my life for about 30 years.
Are you handy, Michael? Can you do a bit?
Yeah.
Great. You can come and help me then. You walked into that
What are you doing Monday? You don't teach on a Monday.
I do. I teach on a Monday.
one. Oh, you've got soft hands as well.
I'm very
now.
busy.
Well,
I've got callousy hands because I'm doing decking and stuff.
Ah, well, there you go.
There you go.
About 3 years' time, I'll be ready for decking.
He's on the roof at the moment.
I'm on the roof.
Right. Oh, no.
Trying to get it tight.
I mean,
watertight.
My dad is like superhero.
Yeah,
like he
he's
can
great.
do everything. But he didn't teach me those things. So he's going to say basically I was too lazy to learn. But there's some truth in that, I'd imagine.
You
but-
didn't want to. You're
No,
like every
well,
kid at that age, and now that you don't want to pay anyone to do it, you're literally thinking, "Oh, I'll do it myself. I'll YouTube it. How to build an extension."
and
That's what you
and
do
Dad said I had
nowadays.
gloves on. I did wear gloves.
You did
I did wear
gloves,
gloves, definitely.
Oh, that's 'cause
Why wouldn't you wear gloves?
you cold little hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I can't
say,
work in gloves
my
when
dad.
you're doing woodwork.
Hopefully, my dad doesn't mind telling this story. But my dad is.
Oh,
How
it's a
how
bit
old are
late
you,
now,
Dad?
You'll find out in a minute, won't you?
Dad, are you 65? Let me know in the comments.
Nearly retired.
I think I've taken a couple of years off him.
Have you?
No, 65.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And anyway, Dad, my granddad and my dad will be the same. My granddad would be up on like the roof when he was 70 odd, you know, just
Your dad
fearless.
is
And
now
my dad's
because of
now,
you.
yeah. But I was on top of the roof the other day. My dad was on the ladder
Yeah.
and he's reaching to try and get something. And I'm looking straight down at him. And as if I just saw it happen in slow motion. The ladder just went and he fell from a reasonable height, I would say. And I just thought, I'm never going to finish this extension.
I've killed me, Dad. Dad, be all right. I can't afford to get a joiner in.
He bounced though. What a guy! If I'd fallen off, that would have been. I'd be in
I fell off a
hospital
ladder a
still.
few times, me. Like,
Have
yeah.
you?
Wow, it hurts. Like, especially as you get older, your bones don't seem to be as like flexible anymore.
Yeah.
You don't
That's
bounce
it, you
when
don't
like when
bounce,
you're your
you
age,
know.
Jack, lads. I tell you.
Mm. So,
Oh,
here we go. Yeah, lazy. That's what Dad said.
he was, yeah.
He's at me, or you're talking about me still?
Yeah, of course I'm
Alright.
talking about you.
Carrying you, mate.
Yeah.
He's a Tory fairy. Thanks very much, Pete. Nice to see you in tonight. Classic Tory thinking from Tom. Yeah. Well, there you go. It's
Yeah.
true. It is
We'll
true.
get everyone else to do it for us.
It's got me this far. It's got me this far. Very good.
So yeah.
So we're going to have all our usual fun stuff tonight. We're going to have Michael's going to tell us a story time with
bit
Michael
later.
Leyden, which will
Yeah.
be lovely. We're
Yeah.
going to have Wonky Donker. We've tried to explain that to Michael, and I think he's got the gist
he
of it.
gets it. He'll be all right.
He'll be sound.
I'm here.
You're
I'm here.
But also, we needed to let you know that Ben Jack our last week's guest is actually going to do us a remix of Who's the King of the Jungle.
He's on it.
This is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think this
Sandstorm
could be
was it? Sandstorm.
Sandstorm.
Yeah, that one.
That one.
That one. And Who's the King of the Jungle?
Don't use PVA glue on camels.
Camel. True. I love that button.
Top advice from Annie
That
Spears
is,
that in
yeah.
it. Don't use PVA
I
glue
think
on
this could be.
camels.
If
Yeah.
he does it, this could go big.
This could go global.
DJ New and MC Gar.
Yeah, DJ New. Oh, we haven't asked him. Have we?
I'm scared to ask Michael because he claims to be a Scouser.
Oh, no.
He claims to be a
He does.
Scouser, but what would you call one of
What
those?
do you call
Michael?
this?
It's
Michael?
nuggets.
Very
Yeah.
good.
I have seen this. I don't know how you can say nougat out loud without.
I thought you
feeling
would have been
wrong.
on board.
I
with
don't know
this.
how we can say
I
it.
married up,
Did you?
and she's not a Scouser.
That means you married a Southerner if you married up.
Well,
My wife married up too.
Leicestershire, but she is posh and clever. But I just don't know how you can say nougat out loud without your mouth feeling funny.
Without-
Surely your whole body's
without-
saying to you, "What are you doing?"
Without being
it just
embarrassed.
feels
Well,
so-
yeah, it sounds a bit rude, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It
it's
feels
just
like
wrong.
silk.
Or like you've got a problem. I've got nougat,
Yeah, a condition.
and I need some cream. It's
Yeah.
nuggets.
It's nuggets.
But how do you
you go. He's
what do you
already on
do
the
if
wall,
you're
this lad.
ordering McDonald's nuggets? How do you tell the difference? Do you
Well, they're not
sometimes...
McDonald's new guys, are they?
Oh no. That's because it's not spelt that way.
Well, that's not spelt nougat either. There's
It
no
is.
R in it.
No, it's not spelt the same as nugget, though, is it, Michael? You're an educated man.
Well, no, but lots of things are not spelled the same that are said the same. Though.
Yeah.
Ah,
There you
okay.
go. He's clever.
The problem is, isn't it? I'm not the cleverest person in the bar tonight.
Yeah.
Usually with Jack and Alan.
Yeah.
I'm fine, but
Not tonight, you know.
not
Right.
tonight.
Well, it's definitely nuggets.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Barbara, for these.
Yeah.
I'm going to take those home with
Oh,
me
you're
because
not.
Alan's going on holiday tomorrow.
I'm
so
going to
we
eat
have no
that
need of
tonight for me too.
it.
All
I
six
wish
of
you'd brought Barbara around to. I mean, with Barbara, you're going to have to come down the
Yeah, you'll
bar
have to
one
be a
evening
guest.
and
I don't
do.
know. That'll go for
definitely.
Jim, like, but
Yeah, leave Jim at home.
leave him at home.
Sick
yeah.
of Jim.
He can come
I'm
and pick
sick
you
of
up.
him.
Yeah, yeah.
He's saying all this, the wild and all that.
They're wild, wild.
Jim,
Fiddle.
your bar, Jim. You
Yeah.
can't watch.
Yeah. You're bad.
You
lad.
can't watch, Jim.
You are the first person that's ever been bad, Jim. That-
Yeah. Come on,
I
Barbara.
mean, I hope
you
you're
can
proud
come
of yourself.
on. You made us
What
do
would
that,
your
Jim.
mother think?
You made us do that.
Anyway, yeah.
Very
So-
good. Wait, we
Yeah.
did a comedy night.
We did a comedy night, yeah. We did
Do
a
you know
comedy
what?
night. We put a comedy night Wednesday night to Finnegan's on.
We did something that didn't lose money,
Which
which is great because it was a charity.
First time ever.
I think it would have seemed really harsh if we'd gone to the community grocery and asked for money. If we'd lost money and said you're going to have to pay us back.
Yeah, we did it for the community grocery, which is like a shop at the church that we're still ministers at somehow.
Mhm.
For now.
And,
It is getting close now. though.
it is getting close, and I might not come back after me. But
You didn't last time.
and we actually raised 1,750 quid
Wow.
Yeah.
1,750
and
pounds.
change.
Amazing.
That's not bad, is it?
Here
Hey.
we look at this. We've
What?
got a few people in tonight who did the course. So Pete's in. He's saying to Laura, "How you doing, my comedy partner?" And look,
Slaughtered in as well.
Laura's said that she's good, and she's seen that Pete has signed up to do an open mic night. He
Has he?
signed up for
Has he?
more. He
Where
wants
are you
more.
going, Pete?
Let us know in the comments, Pete,
Yeah.
where you're going, and we will make sure we are not there that evening. No, I can't, Pete. Let me know where it is, and if it's free, I will come. It probably is free. Those open mic nights, isn't it?
They usually are, or £3.
Pete, I think you'll be fine on an open spot because it's terrible, isn't it? The standard is low normally. And you've done a course, you've passed with flying colours.
Yeah, well, the course basically gives you a head start on anyone who's never done anything. Gives you it probably is about 15 to 20 gigs.
Shenanigans,
It'll help you.
March 29th.
Shenanigans, wow.
Is that a good venue?
I've done a gig in Shenanigans.
Have you?
Ages ago, yeah. Pretty rough. I wouldn't say they were a comedy crowd, Tom. Especially on Paddy's Day, which is when they had me do it.
Really?
I was like, this is not a good idea. No, it'd be great. No, it's not a good idea. Everyone's been on the Guinness since 10 o'clock
Wow.
this morning.
And they weren't
and you're
interested.
putting me on at 7:30 at night.
Wow.
This is a bad idea.
Well done,
was.
Pete, though, for doing. You've got to strike while the iron's hot
You
and
have,
do it
Pete.
quick, haven't
Do
you?
it.
Shenanigans. If anyone else wants to go down and support Pete,
When
March
is
the
it?
29th,
March the
Shenanigans.
29th. Wow.
And Mikey says more Tory thinking from Tom going to charities and taking money.
Yeah, he's
True,
got this theory
true.
that I'm going on holiday tomorrow with
Well, that's it.
the takings.
All I'm saying is,
It's a coincidence.
is it a
It
coincidence?
was just resting in my account.
So the NHS has got no money, but they've suddenly found some money to give Joyce back pay, or is Alan running off
It was
with the
was it?
takings?
Father said it was just resting in my account. It was just resting in my account. Yeah.
So you're going to see lots of photos of Alan's in his swimming trunks, basically. That's what's
Feet.
going to happen.
Feet. That's it.
Feet, but you
It's
do
a bit-
catch a little bit of leg.
I've got to tease them, haven't you, Tom?
Yeah. That's some of our YouTube fans watching.
Yeah, our YouTube fans will be made up next week. Yeah, well done.
Great.
Just how you're going to grow your subscribers.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's worked before.
It's weird. This
See,
is
look,
our
Ray's
plan.
going with you as well.
Oh, Ray is going.
Ray's going with you on
Yeah, Rob
holiday.
is house
so-
as well.
Yeah. Who's got better stuff? You or Ray?
Probably both similar, but the
That's
same
it.
similar age, aren't we? So, you know.
Doing both and
Your
one after
washing
the other.
machines all go after about 10 to 15 years, don't they? No worth robbing the washing machine. Oh, no. We had to buy a new one. So rob that. Oh, yeah. Take that. Yeah. My telly's not worth having, really. It's a few years old now. Not worth having. Yeah.
Good.
Anyway, yeah.
Thanks. We'll put a list up.
Oh, well,
Anyway-
sorry, Tom will probably rob it.
Got most of your tools now, haven't
You
I?
have got most of my tools, yeah. I bought a load of tools and he's used them all.
So
That's the way it works.
let's talk to we've talking
Okay.
to Michael, but Michael actually taught both of us
He did.
at college, Michael. So well done to you.
I've got to say, I loved it.
Yeah.
I hated my Baptist one. And we've got the
That,
Baptist.
he wonders
we've
why
got the
we
Baptist principal on in a couple of
We
weeks.
have, so we'll let him know.
So, but,
He wonders why we didn't win the Baptist competition. He slates the Baptists every week.
I hated it. I hated it. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was
Not
like
the
an endurance.
the Anglican one. You love
No,
that.
the Anglican one I loved. I just couldn't do it.
Mm.
I just wasn't clever enough.
Mm.
I was just literally not clever enough.
What do you
Anyway.
think? Was he not clever, Michael?
No,
Because he
I've never
puts on this
believed it.
act.
It is
and-
an act.
Yeah.
It is an act. He would sit there. He wouldn't say anything. He wouldn't talk to me. Look at his shoes and stuff with his arms folded, or he'd look at the ceiling. But then he would genuinely, what I said before is true. About 5 minutes later, he'd suddenly say something profound. No one else wanted
Yeah.
to talk. He'd suddenly go, "Well, I was thinking like it might be, And then he'd say what he thought it was. And go, well, that
Why
was
do
the-
people
why
who
didn't
come
you
here
say
always
that?"
take my voice off?
And then you say, "Why didn't you say that 5 minutes ago?" Well, I didn't think it was the right thing to say. And it was good stuff, but it was right at the beginning when his career was taking off.
I
The
loved-
BGT and all that.
I loved going there.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
I did. Loved
I think
it.
you were my first Baptist, actually. I think you kind of broke me Baptist seal. I've had a few since. That's it. I've had a few
And the
since.
standard's gone up.
Oh,
Massively gone up.
no comment.
We've gone massively up the standards, hasn't it? Hey, you joined the same year. You joined the same year.
Yeah.
We both went independently. Not
Oh, that's
telling
right.
each
But
other
you were
we
doing
went.
masters. I was doing
You
the
doing the
undergrad.
undergrad,
thing.
yeah, I
I
remember.
I did love it. I
Yeah.
really
So
enjoyed it.
technically, I'm cleverer than you because I've got at least one credit on the
And a
um,
master's.
At least one.
on at least one.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
my degree come from
I don't care.
Similitis Durham. Yours was from
Yeah,
some...
but you copied most of my stuff on your degree.
Don't say that.
It's called
don't-
plagiarism, Tom.
No. Oh, you gave me your essays thinking you were helping me. They
Ah.
weren't helping.
Oh,
Once it took me long enough to be able to translate them, and then then I realised they were no use.
I remember this. I remember this.
I think you should both come back and do a master's.
Oh,
I'd love it. I'd love
Barbara
it.
would love it. Is
She
Barbara
would.
still?
She
help?
is still there.
Is she?
Making
Well done,
crumpets. She's a
Barbara.
legend. I
She
get
is a
crumpets every
legend.
Monday.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's worth it just for the crumpets.
Best crumpets in Liverpool.
Wow.
They are.
I've never seen anyone handle a toaster like Barbara.
It is impressive.
Oh,
It is impressive.
So, where do you actually teach it? Well, you can get to this.
It's
but I
bigger
just-
now. It's bigger than it used to be than
Yeah.
when you guys were there. So
Is it still the cathedral?
yes, we teach in
Okay.
Liverpool on a Monday at the
What
cathedral.
a great place.
Oh,
That was just
that was
straight
cool.
away. Whether
Yeah.
you're a person of faith or not.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
There's
Awesome.
something about that building that
Well,
just...
because it's such a big. If you've never seen Liverpool Cathedral, it's like the 5th biggest in the world. So it's
Wow.
massive.
Yeah.
So you walk in, you feel tiny, but not in a horrible way. In like
No,
an
it's nice.
awe-inspiring
It's an
way,
order.
isn't
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're still there on a Monday, and then we teach on a Tuesday night in Blackburn, at Blackburn Cathedral, which is a little bit smaller but still nice, and Penrith up in the Lake District at the same time. So we send the staff to travel, and then we teach on a Thursday on the Isle of Man and in Manchester
So
and
you
in
have to go
Liverpool.
to the Isle of Man on a Thursday.
Well, I know. So we have only a small, there's only 3 or 4 students there, small hub.
So
We've
is
got
that
about
like
200
Zoom in?
students in total, so they zoom
Wow.
in.
Yeah.
We have a staff member out there, and then they zoom in. And it's the same. We send the staff around all the centres. We use Zoom. We use all sorts, anything we can to help people access us. Really, yeah.
Very
good.
well. Look, I think we got you another student here because
Oh,
Mikey's
good.
saying we just want people to do the masters at Emmanuel. Tell him to check his Twitter DMs.
Mikey, have you been messaging me? I can't do it.
Do you
now.
know what, Mikey? Though I don't think that's probably a normal way to apply to go
No,
to university, is
I
it?
think you're supposed to fill a form in, Mikey.
You can't do
There's a
university in
You
140
can't just say
characters.
inbox me home.
Yeah. He blocked you a long time ago, mate. You're gonna have to fill in an application form online.
Dear me.
Like it. I'll look it up.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, he taught both of us. Go on.
I was gonna
I did,
say
yeah.
I was gonna move on a little bit. I was gonna progress
Sorry.
things.
I thought you were going to tell us about your dissertation. 'Cause didn't I
Mike,
supervise that? That
you did.
and that went well.
I
Didn't it?
came out with a first.
This reflects on me. Outstanding supervision.
Yeah.
That's all I want
It
to
was-
say. That's the only reason I want you to tell the story, just so people know that I'm good at what I do.
You are good at what you do. You are really
Oh,
good at
man,
what
I've
you do.
Like a like a mind ninja.
You're almost too good at what
Yeah.
you do.
The thing is,
You
I
pull it out
reckon
of you.
the classroom is just about having a laugh, isn't it? You've got to
Mm.
come because God's big, right?
Mm.
Technical term.
Mm.
BIG for those who wonder, Mikey BIG. It's sorry, mate. It's God's big, so you're never going to get it all. So you just got to have a laugh while you're there, trying to figure it out. Rowan Williams, the old Archbishop of Canterbury,
Yeah.
he always
The
said-
wizard? Was he the wizard
The
one?
one who looked a bit like Gandalf.
Gandalf.
Yeah, but he's a brilliant theologian. He used to get slagged off for saying complicated things about God. But I remember him saying once, he thought, I'll try and do my impression. Said, the task of theology is to say the least stupid thing about God.
That's a really good
That is
impersonation.
a really good
thank you. Yeah,
impersonation.
it's not
Again,
bad,
that's
is it?
quite a niche impersonation.
Yes.
but-
Can't go around doing that.
I'm here all evening.
Alan.
Yeah. I can't do that one. But I thought that was such a good definition. The least stupid thing you can say. So it's not the best thing.
That's
just
where I was
the
going
least.
wrong.
The least, not most. Yeah.
The least stupid thing. When you tell me.
Just
Hey.
one word different, but it's
Yeah.
crucial.
No, I really liked them times when it was them. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Really did.
Yeah.
But if you're enjoying yourself, you learn loads.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
That's where it fell down, I think, quite good.
I'm not having that.
So, Michael, I know you as leading, university, very clever person.
Right.
Often when guests come, if they've written a book, we get one of their books to give away to people. But with yours, there's just no chance we're going to do that.
No one wants it. You could try give it. You'd have to pay people to take it. Yeah,
And it's big, isn't it?
It's not that big, but it's biggish. Well, which one?
Oh,
How
here we
many have you
go.
wrote?
Here we go. The
Um,
ethics one.
Well, the ethics one. That's
They both
that's-
ethics,
that's-
aren't they?
There's a couple of them. Yeah.
Okay,
There's another
here we
one
go.
coming out next year, and then one on character the year after that. Yeah,
Our
there's a
crowd
few.
are not going to buy your books, Michael.
No.
To be honest, though, that's all right. That's
Yeah.
all right. I can live with that.
But how did you come to this place? Because how did that happen? Tell us about life
Tell us
growing up, and
yeah.
also were you always a Christian? Were you?
No, not at all. In fact, I've had a really weird day. I'll tell you why. I relate to this question. So today I've been talking at a clergy conference today for church leaders about worship and how worshiping God does something to us. It shapes us and changes us as people and that sort of thing. And a really weird experience. Sitting in the corner of the room is this vicar, and I looked at her when I first walked in. I thought, I know you from somewhere. But I spend quite a lot of my time talking to vicars, so I kind of feel like, oh, I must have seen you somewhere before. And then after about an hour, I suddenly thought, I know who you are. And so I grabbed the bishop and I said, is that woman called Mrs. Larkey? And he looked at me, he said, no, I don't think so. But I don't know, because if it is
No
her,
malarkey,
she's new. If she is, she's new to the diocese. Anyway, I went up to her and said, your name's not Mrs. Larkey. And she went, yeah, why? You taught me 35 years ago at primary school. And she's a vicar now. So it's been really weird kind of thinking back, because I became a Christian at high school through my teachers, really. We grew up in a family that, like, I think we believed in God, but we didn't do church or anything like that. I mean, Nana did. She was like Irish Catholic, said her prayers every night, blessed herself every night, but holy water, all that sort of stuff. Taught us to pray, prayer books and stuff. But it was high school where I became a Christian. And really, because I was dead cheeky, I went up to the teacher, my chemistry teacher. I heard he was a Christian. I heard he'd been to Cambridge, so I was told he was clever. He was properly clever. And I did that slightly snarky thing of saying to him, you're supposed to be clever and you're a scientist, but you believe in God. And that doesn't make sense, does it? And
Right.
rather than tell me to bog off or put me in detention or slap me, all of which he probably could have done legitimately, he said, shall we talk about it? Do you want to come at lunchtime? We've got this group. There's some students, there's some other teachers. You can ask us anything you like. And it turns out I got there. My maths teacher was there as well, and my chemistry teacher, and my history teacher, and my RE teacher, and some of the students doing a kind of discussion group Bible study type thing. And that was how it started. I basically turned up and I was a pain in the backside for a year asking questions.
Wow.
And in the end, they gave me a Bible and said, look, you've asked enough questions now, kids. Do some reading, do some thinking, make a decision. And that was it.
Wow.
Really good. I was about 13. And I think listening to folk who were clever, thoughtful, because I think I had the impression that being a Christian was because you were a bit weak and a bit pathetic and, you couldn't do anything proper. And I grew up in Huyton. I grew up on an estate. It was good, but you kind of had to be tough to survive, right? And my dad had been a miner, but I didn't remember that. I remember him being a taxi driver, and then he was on building sites and he was a tiler. So I remember all that. That's why I'm a bit handy, because I learned a lot from my dad. He was good at that sort of thing. And I remember my mum being a dinner lady, and then she was like a typist in a kind of an office. So we weren't like great intellectuals and we weren't great churchgoers, and life was just the way it was for everybody. In the 80s, it was a bit tricky and a bit, you just go on with it. So I think probably I just wanted to know some stuff, and I didn't. I wanted to find out more about life. I definitely had a sense of there must be more to life than this.
Especially if you're living in an estate, and was it
Well,
John's
yeah,
estate?
yeah. No, although that's where my mum grew up. It was Brookwood Bakers Green.
Right.
Yeah, it's good. Do you know what though? I wouldn't swap it for the world.
No.
Salt of the earth people, but like a lot of estates in Thatcher's Britain.
Yeah.
Without saying her name in here, probably not.
Only if you spit afterwards.
Fair enough. I feel
You'll
slightly
see
sick.
that the floor is
actually.
quite sticky.
I feel steady. I feel a bit sick. I haven't said it out loud, but I think just like a lot of us growing up, you know, you just learn to fight, and you did actually learn to fight, but like you learn to be tough and to persevere and to.
Sorry, Tom's got no idea what Thatcher's Britain was really like.
You have told me quite. We talked about that for quite a long time.
Were you not around then? Was that before your time?
Born in the 80s.
Is that BT?
85. I was before Tom.
Okay.
Before Thatcher.
Before Thatcher.
So what was it? What was the point then? You've in this sort of lunch group that's talking about faith. What was it then that kind of made you think, okay? And was that was it a one-time decision you made, or was there kind of, because how did you go from that, like, you know, cheeky to where we are now, which is your life is radically different because of that your faith, because of that decision you made?
That's probably true, actually. I think a couple of things happened. One was, for me, people that I was talking to were not afraid of the questions I was asking. And they weren't pretending to know all the answers, but they were absolutely willing to entertain the questions and to help me think. And some of them were nasty questions, you know, why my nana, who had been a woman of faith and said her prayers and all the rest of it, she died horribly. It was a really horrible death through cancer. And it wasn't nice. And it could have been a lot easier. And it's hard to, you know, why does God let that stuff happen? Yeah. And I think that's why I've ended up doing the job I'm doing. It's just I've had loads of questions. And I'm the sort of person, if I've got a question, I want to know the answer. And I'll just keep going. So I've got no friends, but loads of books. Actually, I've got to stop saying that. I've got 3 friends, and they get really upset when I say I've got no friends. They're like, I'll get texts in a minute saying, actually, there's 3 of them, and they're all like, where are your friends? Stop saying you haven't got any friends. So I've got 3 friends and a wife, but I've also got loads of books, because I think I just wanted to know. I wanted to make sense, and I think I've always had that, like, there must be more to life than this. So with Jesus, I think it's the person of Jesus I just found most compelling. Like, you know, you read about him, you watch the way he is, and then I think it became more and more clear. I started going to a few like Bible studies, a few things at church. My mum and dad wouldn't let me go to church until I was 16, but like our chemistry teacher used to run like trips in the school minibus to church events, to worship services on a Friday night.
Wow.
But, you know, places in Liverpool,
right,
Bridge Chapel and stuff like that. You know, places you'll have heard of. And I found people who were not afraid of the questions and were willing to sit with me and say, here's how I make sense of the stuff you're bothered about. And in the end, someone said to me, have you tried praying? Well, no, because it's nonsense, isn't it? Well, try praying and see what happens. And I think I did. I think I remember like being in my bedroom at home and just praying and thinking, there's something going on here. This is not talking to nothing. This is not talking to myself. There's something happening. And I think it was that experience of older Christians being willing to just let me ask questions and talk and be a bit obnoxious sometimes, you know, be a bit difficult, and always inviting me, try it out, say your prayers, here's a Bible, let's talk about it. So no one ever said to me, do you know what, you're being a bit of a knob, go away. Don't bog off. You're not.
So you obviously weren't talking to me. That's the first thing I'd have said to you.
Absolutely. I wouldn't have even opened my mouth, would I? Yeah. So I think there was that. And then, I just, you know, that was the beginning, really, reading all the rest of it. And then when it came to go to university, I thought I would go. And I thought I'd go and read law. I was going to be a lawyer. I was going to earn loads of money and have an easy life.
You're the first person in your family to go to university.
And still the only one, actually. Okay. Yeah. And I thought that's what I'd do. Law, loads of money, easy life. And I had this like real conviction that I could do that. I remember talking to my mum and dad about it. And my dad saying, if you're not going to read law, you're not going to university. You can get a proper job. Come on the site with me. Learn a skill, learn a trade, do something useful.
Yeah.
But law, you want to do something that's going to pay money. Fair enough. And so I sort of did a deal with him that I could apply for theology and philosophy if I went to a university like Oxford or Cambridge.
Wow.
And where I come from, that's not normal. And even the school I went to, you know, it was a handful of people that ever did. And I thought, that's a gamble. That's a bet. And I did. And I went to Oxford. It was a very weird experience. I picked the college that was founded by a Scouser.
Was it the proper Oxford or was it the Oxford Brooks?
It was the proper Oxford. And I went twice. Wow. I just want you to know.
Is that because you failed the first time?
Liverpool University and John Moore's.
That's it, yeah.
Or NGL.
People say they go to Oxford, let you think it's a proper one. You find out it's Oxford Brooks to study surfing.
Yeah.
Oxford Brooks is a beautiful place. Lovely people.
They're the people you look down on,
No. Do you know what I found, though? It's it's really funny. People will tell you, play somewhere like Oxford's really snobby, and it probably is, but my experience was not like that at all. My experience was a bit, people would look at you and go, there aren't many of you around here. But there were enough of us, actually. There was a really lovely lad called Dom, who was a scouser from he went to SFX, and we were there at the same time. He was a boxer. I'd been boxing. We would end up in the same classes, and just you meet these people and you go, it's not what you think it's going to be. And I got to study philosophy, I got to study theology, did a little bit of jurisprudence, which is like the theory of law. And I knew when I'd finished my undergraduate degree, I wanted to do more study, and I knew I wanted to be a teacher.
So you went back as a...
So I went back and did a master's, and then eventually, when I was doing my master's, they asked me, did I want to do a little bit of teaching undergraduates who were struggling with various things, because you have to pass your first year exams to stay. This is 20 odd years ago, and I said, yeah, okay, go on, I'll have a go. And I loved it. I love even like 19-year-olds on a Monday morning when they're still wearing the stuff they went out in on a Saturday night, which does happen.
Jack.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, and I loved the kind of energy, and students care about stuff, right? Even if it's stuff that when you get older, you think that was a bit of,
Why does it care about
yeah,
that?
why do they care about it? But just being with people who care about being alive. Because I think that's what I learned growing up. Like, one of the reasons we were scrappers, you know, we learned to be tough and hardy, was we weren't going to give up. So the estate I grew up on, everybody was gonna live, right? Even if it felt like there was no money, and there wasn't always, and people had food stamps and stuff, or even if it felt like, you know, Tory government wasn't on our side. We were going to make the best of it. And I think I've always loved those sorts of people. I love being with students. I love that kind of passion and energy, and you know, even the ones who pretend they're thick when they're not.
Well, I think we can all agree I didn't pass.
that might be Simon Cowell's fault, though.
Yeah,
I don't think so. You can't blame me for everything.
Yeah.
He broke his back. It wasn't his fault.
Yeah. Very good.
Oh, dear.
So how did that go then, Michael, from teaching to vicar? How? Because that, again,
Yeah, because you're going to teach.
I mean, that's just not. That's not a normal straight away, is it? Like,
No.
growing up in
Especially when
Highton on an estate.
you don't come from a
Oxford.
religious background.
No.
What
to
do your
then
parents
say,
think have
become a
happened to you?
I don't know, and I daren't ask them, because I think they would tell me as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's funny. When I was a teenager, and I was allowed to go to church when I was 16, and I started going to the evening service at the local church, and the vicar's wife, she said,
sorry, you said you're allowed to go to church.
Yeah, mum and dad
Yeah,
wouldn't
he
let me
wasn't
go.
allowed to. 16.
They thought it was a bit
that
weird.
before?
A bit weird for
Said
like,
no.
and fair enough, because if you know, my daughter's 13, if she came home to me and said, "Dad, I really want to go to church on a Sunday night," I'd assume there was a boy involved.
Yeah, you'd
Otherwise,
worry.
why?
Yeah.
So they let me go eventually. Said, "Yeah, it was okay. We don't think it's too weird. You kind of kept up this religious weirdness for a couple of years." And the vicar's wife, she said to me, "You know, God's got a plan for you, right?" I was like, "What? What do you know?" And not long after, I think I started to know that something of what God was going to do with me was about people, leading people, communities. And when I went to university, I met my wife at university, she's a bit younger than me. And I remember telling her, thinking when we started dating, telling her, I thought maybe I might want to work for the church. I didn't think I was going to be ordained. That gave me nightmares. It still makes me feel a bit sick now, to be honest. But I thought, I want to work for the church. I want to do something useful.
Was she a Christian?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So she was into it as well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And she's like, I am punching, right? She's totally hot. And
send us a picture.
She's that's the weirdest thing you've ever said. That
is pretty weird, Tom.
This is live.
Yeah.
That'll get edited out in the reading.
You can't take these things back.
Is Emma watching?
She is watching.
Oh, right, good. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
I'm glad I'm going
Carry
away
on. Anyway, moving on.
But so in fact, I'll tell you, when I first met my wife, the chaplain at our college was trying to set me up, and he was like, "Go and talk to Mike and have a chat." And she comes over and she's in like rowing shorts and a pashmina. You know, pashmina is the posh girls wear.
That is.
It's like a big scarf that they all wear wrapped around 10 times. One of them, and like she's got all this tousled blonde hair, and I was like, "Oh, you are fit, but." That you're gonna be annoying, and she wasn't actually, and it was the chaplain's wife who spent about a year setting us up. It was a really great. I mean, I'm so grateful to Penny. It was the chaplain's wife who set me up with Anna. It was really good news. But I told her when we started dating, I thought this will be the game changer. I'll tell her, and she'll say, "Well, I'm not marrying a vicar. That's weird."
Yeah.
And I told her, and she just went, "Well, yeah, you're gonna be a vicar though, right?" like you'll be a church leader.
Wow. That's
And
what Joyce knew you were going to lead a church before.
No, she married a builder.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
when it took her, when it was moving towards that, you
Yeah, but
didn't realize,
I
but
think
she
we
did
got married
quicker.
first, though. We obviously got married first, and
Yeah.
I wasn't going to be
Yeah.
any.
No.
And then, yeah, she sort of. I remember when it dawned on me that I was going to become a Baptist minister.
Yeah.
Which it was a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
She just looked at me and went, "Are you stupid?" It was obviously going to happen,
Man.
and I was like, "No, you don't understand."
Yeah.
I've only just realised this, and she was
Yeah.
like, "You are thick." She's listening.
This is made me.
Well, Anna never said that, but she did sort of say to me, "But we can all see it." And it was funny because, you know, that the vicar's wife back home in Knighton, she said to me, "God's got a plan, and you'll lead people." She just got this natural way of leading people, and I don't see it myself because I if you ask me now, I will still say I am just a clown who turns up. So like we used to laugh a lot, right, in classes. I turn up, we muck about, and we learn something on the way. And I've led churches in places like Crewe. I was up in St Helens for a bit. My wife's actually, funnily enough, now is a vicar, and I sort of help. We're in Chester, and I help her out. And I still think I'm basically there as like Sideshow Bob. I turn up, not but less sinister. I turn up, we muck about, we learn some stuff, and we try to follow Jesus on the way.
I think I just muck about and don't do the other bits.
I don't believe that. I've seen you. But there is something about, you know, when you look at the New Testament, this is the thing about Jesus. Like, there's no grand plan that I can see. He turns up, he hangs around with some people, he drinks wine, he eats food.
Yeah.
You know, and they like being with him.
Yeah.
And along the way, he says some profound stuff about God, life, everything,
Yeah.
the world. He does a few healings.
Fabulous.
I can't do that yet. I've not learned how to do that.
Oh, no,
you know,
I
a few
honestly, I
miracles.
know I've said it about 15 times tonight. I loved being in his class.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it.
Wow.
It was great.
It just blew me head off
In
every
fact,
week.
get Mikey as well, the three of you. That'd be brilliant. Come on, Mikey.
Yeah.
Persuade them, work on them.
I can't do it. I've already had the postgraduate loan that I'm still paying back. Spent
Do
it
a
on a
few
holiday.
gigs. Do a few
Spend it
gigs.
on a
Up the
holiday.
prices.
I'll
Up
have to
the
do-
prices on your gigs.
I'll have to do a few funerals.
Do another comedy.
Another comedy raiser.
Do a charity fundraiser
Charity
again.
fundraiser.
Don't
Oh,
do
yeah.
it at your holidays this time.
Do it for me holidays.
Your
Sell-
education.
Sell your foot. No, your pictures from the beach on your feet.
There you go.
Sell them.
I've heard.
We
It's a
could
thing.
we could sell them on here, couldn't we? Yeah.
You could.
What are they called?
On a coaster?
NFTs are they? Or what were they? What were they for a bit? What were they? Come on, Jack. You know what I'm on about. Tell me, Jack.
I know what they are, but I'm not letting
Tell
you
me.
off this hook. I think it's like a non-fungible
That's it.
token.
I was right then.
There you
NFTs.
go,
Yeah, I was
NFTs.
right. Non-fungible token. It doesn't exist.
Let us know if
But
you've
you
got
sell
a
it.
question
Alright,
for
yeah.
Michael at all. If you want to
Oh, yeah.
ask Michael anything,
Ask
throw
Eddie.
it in
He's,
the
he's cleverer
chat.
than Nicky Gumbel.
Oh, don't say that. That's too high. A standard.
No, you are cleverer than him.
All
as a
right.
theologian.
Have you had him on yet?
He
No,
wouldn't
he
come.
wouldn't
We
come.
tried. We did
He was
email
in
him.
Liverpool,
Yeah.
and he wouldn't come.
He's a good guy. Like,
He's
He
to
sent
be
us a
fair,
message once.
Oh,
he did. He
That's
sent us a
nice.
video message. It
Was
was
it?
brilliant.
Please stop asking.
Yeah, please. Please say-
I have
Let
taken
me
out the
Let me
injunction.
out the bar. Let me out, please.
The court order says 100
Yeah.
meters. Leave me alone.
Yeah, we did Alfred, and a load of people loved him and that because he's quite posh, isn't he?
Oh, he's
But
he's
every-
good. He's
Yeah.
a
loads of
communicator.
people loved the new videos with him in
Yeah,
and that,
yeah.
and they loved him. So Tom
I
bumped
did-
into him somewhere and asked him, didn't you? On,
Yeah.
on one of your courses
That was
I definitely, I saw him down.
down London.
I did. Yeah, he did. He did have that kind of vibe.
Get,
you know,
get,
where-
get him away from me.
But I think he
Someone
was just trying to
save
work
me.
out when
security.
he had to defend himself. I think he had that
Imagine
second
if I
where
had
he's
spoke
like,
to him.
Yeah, imagine you said.
Imagine if I had said anything to him. That would have been it. That'd have been a wrestle to the deck, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? But Tory Tom got
so
away
he
with
was
it.
in. He was chatting to the other Graham Tomlin, who's another good
He's a
guy, isn't he?
legend.
And
Look
so
at
I
him,
just
name
jumped
dropping.
in. I know, I just jumped in and was like, "Hey!"
Selfie.
But he couldn't. When we emailed him about this, his assistant was like, "Oh, sadly, Nicky will be having supper and then heading back down south. So
Yeah,
he shan't
I
be
think
able."
I
to
don't
this
even
time."
think he got the message.
No.
No.
I don't.
Jeff,
He'd
I
love
can't
this.
imagine him with cheese and a couple of tuck cracker though, which is what supper is up
Yeah.
here.
See, I think supper for him's a very different thing.
What's supper in your house?
Oh,
He has dinner in the night.
Does he?
Yeah.
Not at lunchtime.
Not at lunchtime.
No.
No, he has it in the night time.
Okay.
that's
When,
what
when
that's
you know when me and you have tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has dinner.
dinner.
Well, it's brekkie,
Yeah.
dinner, tea,
Tea.
supper,
Supper.
cornflakes.
Cornflakes is supper. Yeah.
Yeah. Crumpets actually.
Crumpets
decent
as well.
supper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tuck cracker and cheese.
Yeah, anything like that. Yeah.
That's all supper.
It's not like you.
Strange.
And it is supper as well, not supper. Which is the other
Supper.
thing, isn't it?
What do I
Sapper.
say?
Go on, say it.
Supper.
Yeah.
Sapper.
Sapper.
I feel it's.
Sapper.
What is it? I say Emma always says things like worry. That you say worried. I say warrior, which
He's-
is
Warrior.
Warrior, yeah.
Warrior. He says warrior.
Oh, right.
Warrior, he says. Which is terrible.
Yeah.
It's a good film, but terrible pronunciation. Pronunciation, even. Who am I to tell anyone else to talk? I can't even talk myself. Dear me. Oh,
man alive.
brilliant.
very good.
So how did you become the vicar then? What happened?
So whilst I was still down at university, I think I was doing my master's though, I kind of talked to the chaplain who'd introduced me and Anna and said, I think maybe God's calling me to at least explore it. I was really hoping to say no. Oh no, actually, I'll tell you what happened. The guy who's my vicar with his amazing wife, he's brilliant too. He went off to be a bishop in Lancaster.
Wow.
Jeff, and he wrote to my bishop in Liverpool and he said, look, if you don't make this bloke talk to you about being ordained, he will run. And he was right. And so the bishop wrote to me as a student and said, please go and talk to somebody where you're living now and tell them that at least this is maybe a possibility you think God might be calling you. So I kind of went to see Andrew, who was our chaplain, and did a sort of stupid bishop wants me to stupid talk to you. Stupid, I don't want to be in. It's a terrible job. It's an awful idea. And he burst out laughing. He's like, do you think maybe we should start having a chat? So we did. And then they sent, like, the way we do it in the church, and they send you off for like a local panel with people in your diocese. Then you go off to a national thing for 3 days where they ask you loads of questions and try and figure out if you're called. And they take loads of references. And they said, yeah, we think you are called and we think you should go and train. So we moved to Nottingham. We got married, moved to Nottingham, trained to be a vicar.
And you get paid. They pay your fees, don't they?
They pay you training. Yeah, Baptists don't do this, do they?
No.
Yeah, they pay
This
you
is why
training
they end up
fees.
with people like me.
Yeah.
They don't invest
That's
enough.
why you're doing this, right? You're going to monetize this soon. Yeah. Yeah, so they pay you to train.
Buymeacoffee.com/Finnegan. You get a beer mat.
Scan
You
the
give us
QR
money, you get a beer mat.
code. Oh, I mean, what else would you want? Anyway, sorry.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So that was that. So I went to train, got ordained, worked in the Diocese of Liverpool for a bit, in St Helens, then worked in Chester Diocese at Crewe, was doing a bit of teaching on the side with
like cash in hand.
But no, it's what I taught you to. I was still leading the church when I taught you.
You
to.
were still
Yeah.
there in the church.
I was doing 2 days a week teaching, and then the rest of the time, it makes up the money, doesn't it? The rest because the church can only afford half of me, which is fine, but you need to make
How
up the
much
money
do you?
elsewhere.
How much do you
much
get
do they
paid?
Yeah, there are standards, I'm afraid.
Wow.
Yeah, there's like minimum amounts they have to pay you.
It's good that though, isn't it?
We've
It
got
was all
minimum
right.
amounts.
Do you know what? I love being a vicar. I absolutely. It was hard work, and I still really miss it. And I often say to God, when I finish this work that you've asked me to do now, can I go back and be a vicar? Because I was often in places where other people wouldn't go, which was fun. And it wasn't because they wouldn't go because it was scary. It was just, one church I led, it had a building that every time it rained, we had 16 orange buckets under the communion table. And when it rained, someone had to run around and put 16 orange buckets on 16 red crosses on the floor to catch all the rainwater because the roof was like a sieve.
Yeah.
Wow.
But still, there were 30, 40, 50 people in that church week in, week out, prayerfully. And we used to do amazing things in communities, and you think, they're not there because they've got a gorgeous building and beautiful music. They are there because they love Jesus and they love this community and they want to make a difference.
Yeah.
And I love being in places like that.
Yeah.
I'm not great in sort of high-end church, posh church. I don't get it. There's also, I've got a kind of naughty streak. I'm a bit mischievous. If something's too posh, I do want to be silly. And so I am better in sort of salt of the earth local.
Yeah. I remember when I was leaving our college after like 9 years of training.
9?
Yeah, it's only a 3-year course, honestly.
Why are you there for 9?
Because I wouldn't do it. This is why I was so quiet when I came to your class, because I thought, don't be an idiot, Alan. Just sit here, listen, try and do it. Don't be telling anyone anything.
No,
just...
you only did 1 year. You'd done 10 years when you left me.
Yeah, and then I was 2 years probation as well.
Yeah.
After that, so
probation.
Honestly, yeah.
Is that what you guys call it?
Yeah. Honestly,
I got to
Honestly,
do 4 years probation.
literally
He only did 2 years. I've got to do 4.
that's because I've
trained
done
for
9
10.
years in college.
He was in for 10.
I'd already done 2.5 years probation in that 9 years. So I done 4.5 years probation, technically.
Wow.
Right?
What did you do for 9 years? Just
I done
Hebrew and Greek. I've seen the BGT thing,
I
but
done
apart from
year
that,
1 4 times. 4 times. I could have taught the lessons, honestly. We
Right.
talked about some boulder that someone pushed into a river once or in a lake somewhere miles away, and someone had go and film it, and then it was on its journey, and that was how our life was, and ours was a journey, and this boulder was
don't
all
they do any
scarred.
theology at Baptist colleges?
It was
What's
terrible. I forget. That was foundations in theology or something. Yeah. It was just
Thanks.
honestly.
But I think what happened with Allan is, and this is what I think is the charge against universities sometimes, is that they sometimes talk nonsense, don't they? Or they
Yeah.
talk in ways. So for Allan, he says he just had to learn what they were going on about
No, that's what happened.
before he could then do what they were asking him to do.
Yeah.
And so growing up in Bootle, they're not talking your language, are they? They're talking nonsense.
First of all, I come from a building site background straight away. So
Yeah,
I'm in a class and people are saying stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that's just stupid. Because that's what you do in a building site, or someone hits you with a spade.
Yeah.
Right. So you learn pretty quick
Yeah.
to just say what you think and not beat around the bush, instead of going, oh, that's amazing. And I'm going, no, that's just stupid. So I was always in trouble.
Yeah.
Because I kept not appreciating the other people in the room and their opinions. But what happened was, after a while, I learned the language of university, theology kind of thing. I started to understand what they meant by the terms that they were talking about.
Yeah.
And that was the worst thing they could have taught me.
Yeah.
Because once I knew the terms, I knew how to take the mickey.
Yeah.
Like proper take the mickey. I remember sitting in a class. I'll get to my other story that I was doing, but I remember sitting in a class once and we were talking about bursaries and someone's and that college I was in was quite a liberal college and all this sort of stuff, right? And they were talking about bursaries and they said, Great news. Member of staff has passed away. And I was thought, that's not good news for her,
not
is it?
good for her.
And she's left a amount of money for bursaries for women. Right. And I went, sorry, can you just say that again, please? I was the only man in the class at this point. There was 7 of us. And he went, yes, Steve. And he repeated it. And I went, I thought that's what you said. I said, I can't believe you've got such a sexist policy.
Mm.
And he went, well, no, Allan. It's good because you can have another one. There'll be more money in the other pot for you. And I went, no, I want one of them. I want one of them bursaries that are for women.
And now we know why it took you 10 years.
Yeah. And they said, well, it's positive discrimination. And I said to this girl, don't you ever say them 2 words to me ever again. Because from where I'm sitting, it's just discrimination, right? So I had this massive argument, and then the tutor comes and I got sent to the principal. It's just like,
as an adult sent to the principal.
That's it. And he come over to me and he said to me, I don't think we've really met before properly, have we? Because I was in different years.
Was that
all
the
the time.
first of many meetings?
I've been here 7 years and have never met.
And then literally, he said to me, interesting what you were saying. And I went, well, as a charismatic evangelical, I feel bullied. I feel marginalized in this place. So I was just using words that have been used about me, assuming I felt that way about other people.
Troublemaker.
So I had a ball then for about 2 years, but then really clever people beat me up intellectually, proper beat me up. I remember having an argument with Sean Winters. He's a New Testament scholar, really clever, right? And I knew I was going to get. I remember thinking this is a bit like the charge of the Light Brigade.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to get shot to bits and
But you're
die,
going to do it anyway.
but I've got to go there because he literally set me up.
Yeah.
I talked to him in the break, and he said to me, "You haven't said nothing. Why haven't you said nothing?" And I went, "Because I know you're
the
really
profound thing's about to come."
I said, "You know, you're really clever, all right, and I am not, and you'll make me look stupid." And he went, "No, I won't." And then he got back to the class and did exactly that. Made me look stupid.
Yeah.
So, which is mad, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah.
There's a little bit of an argument going on.
Oh, no.
Breakfast, dinner, tea.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. But Dad's in. with breakfast, lunch. Thank
no,
you, Dad.
sorry, Dad.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner,
Sorry.
supper.
Sorry, Dad. Yeah.
That's what it is.
He's got supper in the right place.
Yeah, you end with supper.
Where's he from, your dad?
Where I'm?
Sorry, Town.
Where are you
Sorry,
from?
sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he can't help it, can he?
No, it's just the way you put it.
And Laura, I think, also would call dinner lunchtime.
She would, and she's from down that way as well.
Bristol,
Yeah.
Bristle, Brazil.
Brazil.
Bizzle.
Yeah. So when I left Baptist College anyway,
Yeah.
I was a one-trick pony. They
Yeah.
basically said, put Allan anywhere where it's rough as toast and he'll prosper. That was me leaving.
And that's been true, though, right?
Commendation. Well, I've only ever been in one church.
But you know what? Here's the thing, right? If people don't go to those places think God doesn't call people. This really gets on my nerves that I love the Church of England, often in spite of itself. But I feel like God has really gathered some interesting people to do some weird stuff. And we are catching up as an institutional church. One of the things that drives me nuts about it, though, is there is a kind of perception that to be a vicar, you've got to sound a bit posh and be a bit posh and be a bit posh. And there's a class thing. What I love about like kind of the work you guys are doing, and we are catching up in the Church of England, is it takes seriously that God is actually calling people from estates.
Yeah.
And God's been doing some stuff there for ages.
Amazing.
And there have been people there saying yes to God for ages. And only now is the institution going, oh yeah, flipping it. God can use people from places that we don't expect. And you don't have to get a degree from Durham or whatever to be used by God.
And the church is so much better for it, isn't it? Because I think the church, you know, becomes so mono, like it's just one type of person all the time. And there's not a breadth. And, you know, as soon as you get people who are not, you know, who can't access that kind of, wouldn't be able to become, wouldn't even dream of being. For you to have made that leap is massive. For Allan to have made that leap is massive.
It was
and
a
not many
culture
people are going to
shift.
do that in the current way things
But
are.
I think for me it was a bit of a culture shift because although I've always been bookish and nerdy, and I haven't actually. I mean, I joke about not having many friends. There are 3 of them, just in case they're listening. I know about you. I have remembered you and I love you. But it's not something I find easy at all. And I think one of the things I feel incumbent on me to do is someone who's made some of that culture shift is one to represent. So I'm not to be ashamed of being a working class Scouse lad from a working class stock who actually also does this job. And, you know, I've collected a few degrees on the way and all the rest of it. It's possible. It shouldn't be the case that you only get degrees, you only get doctorates if you're middle class and educated. That's a load of nonsense. You are right though. There's a culture thing. You've got to learn how to talk the talk and sound right.
Yeah.
But
then
I'd
be saying things.
It's just a
and
shame
it
that
means
though, isn't
something
it?
completely different to them.
Yeah.
And to me, when they were talking back to me, so we didn't connect at all until I learned their language. And then, as I say, and once they learned me, I had a ball.
But that is usually how it goes. We usually say to people, you've got to be brazen enough and pig-headed enough to stick around and learn to sound middle class and educate. And actually, it's nonsense. And I think there's a couple of things I've seen recently. One is people from often urban estates who often have left school at sort of 16 are doing great manual work and have got real leadership gifts, real skills of bringing people together who love God, who are studying their Bibles, who are saying their prayers. And actually giving them a bit of paper to hang in the downstairs loo isn't going to tell me more than what I already know about them in terms of character. Because so much of leadership, there are people running around with 5 or 6 bits of paper hanging in the downstairs loo, but their leadership ability, their character, their Christ-likeness isn't anything like it could be, because you end up investing so much time in the bits of paper. Now, I believe in studying theology. I believe in robust theology. I've collected degrees myself. I think it matters that you've got kind of credible witness. But I think it also matters the whole spectrum of people that God calls is there, right? And who am I to say to God, I'm really sorry, mate, you got this wrong. You shouldn't have called them. They're from the wrong place. Like, what stupid.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I tell God. I offer God a lot of advice on a regular basis. But I have tried to stop telling him he's called the wrong people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got people in our church that I know would make good ministers.
Yeah.
You can see it
totally.
a mile away.
Yeah.
But you can see there's so many obstacles in the way, and I would want to protect them from those obstacles, because I think, you know, like they've faith, really exciting faith, but they look at all the other people who maybe are ministers, apart from me and Allan, obviously, and they think, oh, I could never connect, you know, that a million light years. Because you think people have got a faith, God's obviously doing something in their lives, and you think, why not? Why not? We'd be so much better for it.
We've just developed a new pathway for training people for Church of England ministry that is not involving a university degree. We're calling it an action learning pathway. We just got permission last week to pilot it for 3 years in the Northwest, just to see if there's a way of training people to the same character standards and the same ministry standards, but without the obstacles created by university qualification. And I reckon we'll be able to do it, not because we're great, but because God is calling these people. And if God's called you, like,
how'd you get on that course?
DM Michael on Twitter.
Yeah. You and Mikey.
Mikey Leyden.
I'm so sorry, Mike. I will go look. I don't use Twist that often. But email me. I'll whenever you get this.
So if you're not an Anglican, that's what I mean. Can you get?
But even if you're not an Anglican, because of what we're doing, obviously, if you've got your own denomination, like Baptists will want to do Baptist training with Baptists.
You know what?
But we can teach theology. We've designed our curriculum so that we do the theology as a standalone piece, so that we can do the ministry formation responding to the different traditions. So actually, it could work for people. This is a random. You might not even know. Can you get student finance for it to pay for it?
Watch this space. Okay.
Not today.
That might be a game changer.
Not today, but we are in the system. We've just had our inspection towards that, and we've got a couple of months to go. A few more hurdles to jump through. I'm hopeful, but it's not a done deal.
That is a barrier then, otherwise, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for people.
But we're definitely working in that direction.
Okay.
Emmanuel Theological College. You've got to look us up. That's
good.
What we're doing.
It's great. So good. Lots of good stuff.
.org.uk.
Mandy says, there you go, Alan, another 3 years for you to study.
Well, wait a minute. If he's taken 3 times as long, the Masters is 2 years. It's another 6 years.
Well, see, I'm still on track.
Yeah.
He's making that question about funding.
I'm just doing that first year again.
You think he's asking for other people about funding? He's just seeing if he's lining up the next holiday.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Have you got crumpets? Can I get funding for it?
Can I have another free laptop?
Yeah, that's it. Wow. And do you know what, Alan? You with your stories, kicking off, you trying to get the women's grant. Yeah, Mikey's saying, boss chat this on International Women's Day.
Yeah, but honestly, where I was, literally, you've got to understand, I'm in a college that everyone's telling me I'm a male chauvinist pig, I'm all this, I'm blah, 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 blah.
Listen to him.
And my head was done in. And I just thought, no, you know
what? I'm going to take it out on women.
I wasn't saying that was on women at all. I wasn't saying that was on. I was trying to point. I actually said to the tutor fella, I just want you to see your hypocrisy when you talk about equality and everything else.
Don't start again. He's hit that age. He's hit that age, Michael. You know, when they hit a certain age and you just go, they're going to say a little racist thing from now and then. They're going to say a little sexist thing.
I can't wait to tell you.
Right, it's time for a game.
Wait.
Great chat, that. Yeah. Really good. We're going to play a game.
That's Tom changing the subject.
Not dancing tonight?
No, fuming. Still fuming. I didn't get one of them grants. You didn't win the Baptist insurance competition, and we haven't got a grant. All I got was some grant.
The best type.
Hey.
The grant that keeps on giving.
Yeah, honky donkey. Come on, back on track.
Okay. Great.
Oh dear.
It's been a good night, this, isn't it?
I think so.
It's been a great night. Okay. Michael's not played this before. He might need a little bit of help from home. So, top of the leaderboard. Ben Jack was trying to say, could he have 12 instead of 11? But I think he only gets 12 if he does the remix of King of the Jungle.
Yeah, if you do the King of the Jungle, in fact, if you do the remix of King of the Jungle, I think we give him 2 points for that.
Yeah,
so
okay.
He's 13.
Annie Spears is on 12 though, so she's the one to beat.
Annie Spears.
Peter Dowd MP on 11.
She got an extra point though for bringing her own wonky donkeys.
Oh man,
which you obviously
won't. Well, no, I still don't know what the rules are
exactly.
So
it's hard for
you. The way it's going to work.
Yeah.
Should we just play?
Well,
no, he needs to know the rules.
I feel like this is some kind of revenge you're trying to get. Tom, I'm not happy.
This is my moment.
Don't worry, if he comes back for the MA, get him back.
Yeah,
Okay, so here you go.
Yeah.
So the clue I'll give you as an example: a choice grape juice. So another word for grape juice is
wine.
And if it's a choice one, it's a
fine wine.
Fine wine. And there you go. It's as simple as that.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Help him out in the chat.
Fine. That wasn't mine. I was going with.
No. It's they're posh clues. Those
they are. I was getting that one out of the way.
I've been schooled.
I was getting that one out of the way.
Hang on a minute. I haven't got my
This is going to be a disaster. Incidentally. How much time have I got?
2 minutes.
So it's as many as I can in 2
2
minutes.
minutes. You can
Yeah.
pass.
And Spears got 12.
Yeah.
She's on.
She got
fire.
11, but she
She-
got an extra point.
Oh, fair enough.
Just a
Six
bit-
a minute. Though. That's
Peter
one every 10
Dow got
seconds.
11 as well, but he only actually got 2.
Is he Labour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right. I like him.
Yeah.
It's fine.
We wouldn't have any Tory MPs
Alan
in here.
gave him loads of answers, though, to be
Yeah.
fair. He said anyone could be an MP.
He,
I
did.
agree.
He has given us some money now, actually, as
I
well.
see. Thank you,
Yeah,
Peter.
Thank you, Peter. Well done.
In a brown envelope, or what was it?
I'd rather not say so. It's gone to the
And
holiday
he's
fund.
going on holiday tomorrow. Thank you, Peter Dowd, MP.
The Minister's Beer Fund.
Expenses again. Right. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Appeal for a hot cuppa. Appeal for a hot
Tea.
cuppa.
Peel. Tea.
Shout.
I
Hot
think it
cuppa.
said it.
Hot.
It's
Come
tea
on,
and some.
Tea.
And if you're appealing for it, you're
Plea for tea.
Yeah.
Tea. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's it. Okay. Crimson storage building.
Red.
Red Shed.
Yes.
Oh, what a guy.
Frozen backside.
Cold.
It's not that.
Frozen.
What's your backside called? Another word. for
Num
back-
bum.
Yes.
Oh,
there it is.
you're
We're away.
brilliant.
Cut cost. Cut cost.
Slash.
Flash cash. No.
No.
Oh,
Cut.
that should be
Another
right.
word for
Slash
cut.
cut.
Slice.
Yes.
Slice.
Cut cost. Slice the.
Slice the.
Slice the dice. I don't know. Slice the.
What's the
Slice the price.
Price.
Yes, there we go. It was a flurry of dirt.
Flurry of
That's a
dirt.
tricky one,
Oh,
actually.
get
Do you want
rid
to
of
pass
it.
that
Oh,
one?
something
Go on.
mud.
No, not mud.
Okay,
That one.
Come on. What are you
Blow a wind instrument. You're a,
Two to
it's not the
flute.
yes, it's not the harmonica.
Good lad.
Cheese grater. What type of cheese?
Cheddar.
Cheddar
Yeah.
shredder.
Yes.
Ah,
Fairly snug. Fairly snug.
tight fit. Tight.
That
tight.
second word's right.
Fit.
Tight. Something that rhymes. It's got a rhyme.
Yeah, it's got a
It's got a rhyme.
tight. Is that the first word or the second?
Second.
Something tight.
Fairly snug. And it's tight.
Quite tight.
Yes.
Oh.
Took a while. That one. Extremely jolly.
Happy. Something happy. Oh, extremely jolly.
Very merry.
Yes.
Oh,
Luminous evening. Wow.
luminous evening.
Luminous.
Bright.
Bright night.
Oh,
it's not.
oh,
It's not.
Should be.
It's good, but it's not right.
Bright.
It is night.
Night.
Luminous.
Luminous.
Do you know the word luminous,
Bright,
Michael? It's
light.
another word for
Tight. Fight. Night. Sight.
what is it? It's not bright.
Not
Just
bright.
change one letter on bright.
Light. Night.
Yes.
Light,
Light,
night, oh.
night. Tearless sob. Tearless sob.
Cry.
Yep,
Cry.
it is something cry. Tearless sob.
Dry cry?
Yes, dry
Oh,
cry.
Brilliant.
Not many were aware. Wow.
Anyone aware?
Not many were aware.
Few.
Yep.
Few new.
Yes.
Ah,
How long's
brilliant.
left? Time.
Come on.
Time.
No, we had to start for another one then.
Started.
You're a cheat.
Shall I give
Yeah,
you one
started,
more?
so I'll finish, yeah.
Okay, I'll start it so I finish. That's the first time we're doing that.
It's
so-
not. We've done it every time. You just don't know the look. You're not looking normally.
Okay. Pretend to be hurt.
Pretend.
How many seconds are you getting for this?
About 10. Okay.
Pretend to be hurt.
Pretend to be hurt.
In the comments, please, because I don't
Pretend to
think
be
they're going to
hurt.
get this one.
Fake.
Nope. Pretend to be hurt.
Act whacked.
Act,
I
yeah.
wish it was.
Act
That would be best.
Well, that's the time now.
Okay.
We had 10 minutes. 10
Tell
seconds.
me in the comments. Pretend
How
to
many
be
have we got?
hurt.
We got a
please.
few there,
Let's
you know.
count them up. You did get a few. I
Not
think
bad.
this could be close. 1,
Won't be
2,
12.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I thought you were
Oh,
doing so well.
It's not bad, 11.
That's brilliant. Well,
That's
no,
good.
that's great. No, I
I'll
just
have it.
thought,
Don't forget, Annie only got 11, really.
Yeah.
yeah.
And Jack only
Why
got
did she
I
11.
hope
get a
she's not
bonus?
watching because she'll
And she
feel
brought the teddy bear things and done
She
her own.
did.
she'll feel shortchanged.
She was all
She will.
creative, wasn't she?
Mm.
So,
She was
She'll
great.
come back for you.
I would have taken the point away for that, to be honest. But
well,
you
shall
gave
we?
her one. No, you can't do it after the fact.
Oh,
Okay. No one's got pretend to be hurt yet. Pretend to be hurt.
Hurt.
Anyway, let's move on.
Okay.
Feign pain.
Yes.
I think you should get the point for that.
It's
So,
a bit
yeah.
late though.
It is-
It
I
was
mean,
a
it is
little
about
bit late.
typical
2
of,
minutes.
Typical of me. Arrive after we finish.
Yeah.
Do you know what I am going to point out though?
What?
That my lovely wife did say feign pain about a minute and a
Oh,
half
you
ago.
suck.
Wow.
Well done, Emski.
That's
That's
re-
impressive,
Remember, they
actually.
asked for a picture of his wife, though. Remember that?
That did
That
happen.
was obviously a joke, Emski.
Keep remembering that bit.
You did wonderfully there. Don't listen to
Oh,
Alan.
you're dead.
Yes, Emma, you did
This will
say
be a
that.
one-man show.
That's
for-
it.
in the
But welcome
future.
back to Finnegan. Can you imagine that? Alan on his own.
Oh, no.
First of
Can't
all,
set
it wouldn't
up.
be happening.
Can't set it up. I don't know how to do it.
Alan set the cables up and all that earlier, and he did a great job. And it came in. He said, "Have I done it?" He said,
however,
Yeah.
it wasn't working.
I came in and he said, "Have I done a good job?" And I just looked, and he just had one of the cables plugged in his ear. He's like, "I can hear voices."
Whenever I get
Stop
the
switching
tech,
that on.
whenever I get the tech right at work, there's one student in particular who says, "Oh, well done,"
Oh,
because she's like 25 and knows how to do it, and I have
Oh.
to think about
What? Failure.
Yeah, that's it, teacher. That'll teach
And then
you.
you can go, oh, well done.
it. She said to me on Tuesday, "Oh, that's really good. You didn't have to ask me for help this week." And I thought,
Oh.
"I don't ask you for help every week." And everyone else in the room went, "Yes, you do.
Mm.
You find the youngest person in the room and say, "How'd you switch it on?"
Oh,
I know,
very
it's
good.
bad, isn't it?
Very good. Okay.
Tom's top tips, are we doing them?
Yeah,
We're doing it.
we're done.
doing it.
Tom's
Nice.
top six.
Tom's
This
top
is the best bit of the night.
It's
is it?
Tom's
Usually.
top
It's
tips.
similar,
Similar to teaching an MA.
dispensing similar wisdom.
I
Really.
mean, I believe that. actually.
So
After your expertly supervised dissertation,
that's it. It is. Who was really supervising there? Do you think was it a mutual supervision? Were we supervising each other?
I mean, you could try that. Yeah, cool. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Sorry, Michael. I'm only messing.
No, it's fine. It's just my life's work. You know?
Yeah. Very good. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
I've got a few just in the melting pot.
Yeah.
The greatest education you can embark upon is choosing to grow.
Grow what?
I don't know about that one. I don't know if
Tomatoes?
it's vegetables.
Ganja? No, probably not.
So that's quite good, isn't it? Is that good?
I'm still trying to take it in.
To grow.
Take it off.
Growth.
Yeah.
Like grow yourself.
Grow yourself.
Rather
You took that serious. Hey.
Last one. Education is the passport to the future. Tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for today.
Shut up.
I don't like that.
Tom's top
He's literally
tips.
doing a
It's
thing for
Tom's
people who
top
aren't going to do degrees, and you're coming up with this nonsense.
all he's thinking is, what he's thinking tonight, Michael, is he spent his whole life dedicated to educating people, and he educated, but he's thinking, why did I bother?
Look at them two sat over there.
Can I just add a disclaimer to this evening? That this is not a good example of what I do. There are literally hundreds of students that I have taught and trained. Just feel I need to say that.
Very good. Well, my mate Chazza from Australia,
Oh, Chazza.
he
Nice.
said
Chazza's on.
Tom's top tips
Was that Chazz's,
buzzing for this. He's
Chazza.
got one as well.
You wake up with determination and you go to bed with
That's
satisfaction.
Chazz's.
You wake up with determination
And do you know what
go
he
to
does?
bed with satisfaction.
Because he's
Wake
in
up.
Australia, there's a time
With
difference. So
determination.
he wakes up
He's
to this.
literally just woke up
That's
To
what he
this.
does.
with
Yeah.
determination,
This starts his day,
Yeah. That's why he wakes up with determination.
but goes to bed.
with
Satisfaction.
satisfaction.
I can't get no.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be. He lives a
Something
great
else,
life, Chazza. He
It
really
by the
does.
sound of it, yeah.
Top mullet.
He's just come back from his morning swim. I mean, Chazza, are you in the ocean or do you go? I imagine he goes in the ocean
Probably.
in Australia.
Guessing it's warm there, isn't it?
Is it?
No.
What's
I'll
the-
be in the ocean tomorrow. So afternoon.
What, literally?
Yeah, they probably throw me off the boat. Get out! You haven't paid. How'd you? 1,750 quid's not enough.
Same amount as he raised for Cherry.
That's why I said it's soft like.
You're not quicker than me.
I am quicker than you.
Mia says she likes that one. Very deep. Thank
Oh,
you,
right.
Mia. Very deep.
Which one?
I don't know.
Mike, one of
his
which
top
one,
tips.
Mia? Which
Yeah,
one did
I
you
want
like?
to know which one. That will help me to decide about Mia.
Very good, very good. Okay, it's time for our story, isn't it?
It is. It is.
I just love people are going mad in the
Reading
chat.
comments.
They're going mad.
What have they done want now? You have left me for what's this thing?
Anyway, okay, all right.
I'm thinking, what have
It's
I
not. This
let
isn't
my-
interesting
let
for people
myself
watching, is
into?
it?
I love though that you had to put your glasses on for that. That was.
Can't see.
that was amazing.
Look this big and I can't see.
Have you seen that film Up?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
It's so good that.
All right.
Very good. Very good. Okay.
Anyway,
Very
moving
good.
on.
Thank you, Michael. It's been fantastic tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, boys.
Fab.
Been good to
So
see you.
good. And we've got
Fabulous.
one last bit where basically you tell us a little story. And if it's a great story, people at home vote. If it's a great
Oh,
story,
no.
Get him on the wall,
you
lad.
go on the wall.
You're already said good, so you.
You've got, you're in for a
it
good
should-
shot.
yeah,
You
it's
should
not
be.
good.
But if it goes badly,
His name's on the
You're
wall.
bad,
lad.
you get barred. So
Oh,
it's
that heartbroken.
well, yeah. Many
But,
guests.
You know, we'd have to like get you out.
Jack would escort.
I
you.
Jack,
think-
Jack throws you out.
Everybody would love to see that.
No.
Mm.
And we also but if you're a big VIP member, you can come anytime.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Get a
That's
key.
privilege.
While you're away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Key to the bar.
Yeah.
We'll let you know where they are
Yeah.
in this secret location.
This secret
That
location.
happens to be very close to my house.
Very good. We're part of the story.
Oh,
my God.
no.
Here we go.
Come on, let's-
Here we go.
She needs me to keep this job just a little longer
Oh, okay.
while we pay the bill. But you know, everyone's got like a friend who is the organized and sensible friend. My best mate is one of the three, is my organized and sensible friend. And when we go away on holiday, we go away together as families all the time, and he like plans the stuff that we do. And a few years ago, like we'd had this conversation that he always plans the stuff, and when we travel in convoy, his car always goes first, and I follow because he basically doesn't trust me. Because his mantra is he's from St Helens, but he works down south now because he's gone as a missionary to convert them to Nugget. And he says to me, "You're good at the book learning, but leave the practical stuff to me." And that's fine, totally get that. He's a good and godly man, and I love him very much. But a few years ago, I said, "It's always you. Like maybe I could lead the convoy this next time." And so we were going to Warwick Castle. We were staying at a campsite in Warwickshire. We're going to Warwick Castle. I look at Warwick Castle on Google. I get I'm about to say the code, the postcode for the sat nav. Put it into the sat nav. My car heads off first. My wife, my 2 kids in. We're on the way. His car is behind me. His wife, his 3 kids in. It's going to be fine. It is the longest journey ever. It's supposed to be 20 minutes away. It's about 55 minutes of driving around the Warwickshire countryside. We end up in a woodland, and we're driving along. And you're texting between cars. Are you sure you're going the right way? And it's fine. It's fine. It's all in the sat nav. It's not a problem. It's all going to be okay. And we're doing that kind of back and forth. And I could tell he's getting agitated because he's phoning forward in the kind of you sure we're going to the right place? Because I know it's a castle in the middle of a woods, but we are literally on a dirt track now. What's going on? And I'm reassuring him all the time that he can trust me. It's going to be fine. Of course, he can trust me. I am a grown up. I know how to do things. It's going to be fine. And right in the middle of telling him he can trust me, it's fine. We turn a corner in convoy. I hit the brakes. He comes up next to me, hits the brakes, and there's a great big wooden arch that says, "Welcome to Sunnyside Nudist Camp." So I had driven 2 families, 2 middle-aged men and their wives and kids to a nudist colony, and a nice man comes out and stands behind the barrier and welcomes us in.
Wow.
And we have to reverse away, shaking our heads to explain that we are in the wrong place. And whenever he comes to teach me, because he's a church leader down south and he's a really, really gifted pioneer and planter, he's a brilliant bloke. Whenever he comes to teach me, the first story he tells the students is the time I took him to a nudist camp for the weekend.
Oh.
And I'll never live that down.
No.
And we go on holiday every May and have done for 10 years, and I have never, ever been allowed to lead the convoy since.
Wow.
Well,
Was the fella who came to the barrier,
Yep.
was he?
But the barrier was good.
Just in the right place.
It was perfectly placed for
Yeah.
not needing to see anything. But it was the way, when someone's like, "Come on in," and we're going, "No." It was bad.
I wonder how many families they welcome to the nudist. Like, what was he thinking?
I emailed Google. Like, this is not good enough. The postcode isn't right. So I was so embarrassed.
How many people have intended to go to Warwick Castle and ended up at this place?
Ended up at a nudist camp.
Wow. Just one.
To be honest,
Just one.
it looked really neat and tidy. That's what I'd say. I've
We're
never been
talking
to
about
one
the
of those.
the barrier
campsites.
was in the way.
It was an excellent.
That
wooden-
was good.
He's manscaped.
He's well trimmed.
Yeah. Very good. Let us know. That was the line. That was a good line.
I can't usually has one now and again.
That was good. I couldn't
Yeah.
get there quick enough.
No.
Very good. I love that your wife thought that was a safe story.
Yeah.
That-
We want to hear the others.
Uh-huh. Maybe
Yeah.
later.
Very good. Very good. Well, let us know at home if Michael's going to be on the wall or barred.
How are we doing?
I think it's crucial that that wasn't nudity on Michael's behalf. He was backing away
was
from the.
dressed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
I was-
dressed.
Well, he actually never ever said that.
No, well, yeah,
Just pointing that out. He could have been driving naked. We don't know.
I don't think.
I don't think so.
I've not done that for years.
No,
No, not since they ordained me, actually.
no.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh.
Yeah, look, Mikey says, "Oh, hey guys, looks like I've accidentally led us to a nudist camp. What a shame.
That's my story, and I'm
Shall-
sticking to
Are
it.
we staying or are we going? We're going, of course." The look of disappointment on the fella's
Just leave the
face.
kids in the car. No.
Did you reverse as you just stared at him?
Yep. And we were shaking our heads in a sort of a, no, we've come to the wrong place. It's
Oh.
like, come on in.
Yeah.
We need
Very
more
good.
young people.
Yeah. Emma says on the wall, and she
Yeah.
says in brackets, seeming as you helped Tom Grant pass his degree.
Oh,
And he did. He
thanks.
very much helped me.
Thanks,
That was, I remember, because that was during COVID, and so suddenly
Ooh.
supervision was on Zoom
On
call,
Zoom.
and I was stressing out quite a bit.
Well, you were amazing. We'd have these Zoom supervisions, and he'd go, "These are my thoughts," and all of this paper would appear. Look, and I was holding stuff up to the camera for me to see
Wow.
the lines joining. It was amazing. It was amazing.
And you managed to make sense of it. I was
You managed
impressed.
to make sense of it.
Ugh.
That was
Get him
great.
on the wall, says Ray.
Oh,
Yes,
thanks, Ray.
yes. Chris is on the wall. Very good. Put him on the wall. Mia, yes, very good. Mikey, Charlie, everyone's voting for you to be on the wall. Barbara is there, and
Barbara's
she says
here.
on the
Crumpets.
wall.
Thank you,
Yes,
Barbara.
Barbara.
On the
Crumpets,
wall.
as she's
Very
known.
good. Kathy's saying definitely barred.
Definitely
Is she
Shit,
still
well,
your PA?
Yeah.
She's still there, and for the next few months anyway, is our Kathy. She's brilliant, and she knows Gaz, who's the other guy in the other car.
Ah, very
Yeah.
good.
So
Very
you
good.
can imagine what she's thinking.
On the wall it is.
On the
Let's
wall
put
it
him up.
is.
Oh, thanks.
Very good. Are we going with Dr. Michael Leyden?
I mean,
You've
you
not
want to
mentioned
Reverend Canon Doctor? If you like.
Oh,
I mean, no,
well,
don't do
we're
that.
running
It's
out
really
of
got a
space.
small wall.
I'm going to go with Dr. Michael.
Okay, that's cool. Why
Very
not?
good.
Why not?
We've got MP up here, haven't we? What else? We've got a DJ, Galactus
Nice.
Jack.
Yeah, over there, it's
We've
easier,
got
yeah.
it's an eclectic collection of people. This
I like that. I'm right
Beachy.
behind you.
Oh, Beachy.
as
Yeah.
well. That's good. Right in the middle.
Dr. Michael.
Look at that.
Very good.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you so much, Michael,
It's been a delight.
for teaching us,
Stop
help-
telling people that.
working.
Stop I've got a reputation.
You could put us on the
The
brochure,
website.
the
Yeah.
website,
Totes.
just
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
In fact, we could link to this.
You good? These
Look
are
at our
guys.
past achievements.
These are guys who have graduated.
You
eh?
too
Even they
could go on to
graduated.
glory.
You just put in brackets they were Baptist though, and then
Yeah.
it's
This
people
is
understand.
missionary work from us
That's it.
Anglicans.
This is grace.
Yeah.
This is grace.
Yeah.
We don't burn them anymore.
Yeah.
Well, what you don't realize is actually this is a secret plan from the Church of England to bring down the Baptist Church.
Well,
this is what
yeah,
we're
We're doing a good job on our own.
We are. We're doing all right.
No, I don't believe it. I
No,
don't
we are.
believe it.
Very good, very good. Well,
Yeah.
Charlie
Oh,
says,
fabulous.
"What a season of Finnegans," and it's been a good one,
Oh,
hasn't it? We've
thanks,
so
Jazza.
many highlights
It has been
throughout
good.
this season, and do you
I
know what?
love doing this.
Good.
In spite
It's
of
great,
you.
isn't it?
I have to say, you didn't tell me you were bringing me in to close the season, to close
I
it
know-
down.
well, that's it, the
I feel
headline-
marginally offended
It's only
by
2
that.
weeks.
Like
no,
a
you're the
wrecking ball.
headliner.
You're
Oh,
the
is that what it
headliner.
is?
You're
You
the
saved best
headliner.
till
Oh,
last.
right, that's how it works.
That's
It's
how it
not,
works.
we
Headliner.
needed somebody
Not
to
like
bring
that.
this
Let's,
to an end.
let's
No.
close it.
Yeah.
No.
No, we don't. Not like in the Baptist church. We've got ministers that go in and shut churches.
Yeah.
That's their job. Seriously, regional ministers. That
All right,
shut
let's
churches.
not start again. Let's not start again.
That's their job. I know. We'll send this person in and they can shut it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
And
usually
once
me.
you've trained for another 10 years, you can have a go.
Should get paid for it. I could do that.
Oh,
Shut churches. Yeah, you get paid
Mm.
stipend and a third.
a third.
Is that like
extra.
protection money?
Yeah,
A third's extra.
that's
Yeah, it's not bad.
very
is it?
good.
No.
It has been a great season,
It has.
and we've got so
Fabulous.
check out any of the previous episodes. There's loads there, loads of good things, and also next week, Karen is saying, "What are we going to enjoy your holiday, Alan? But what are we going to do next
Well,
week?" Well, next week
Next week
we've got you covered,
BG.
Karen. We've got
Got
Beachy in.
BG. Beat
So
GG.
Beach.
Beat G.
That's how we say it.
CVM, Christian Vision
Is,
for Men.
He's great. He's going to be a
Yeah,
great
he's
guest. Make sure you watch that. That will go out the
a
same
pre-record.
time
We won't
next
be here.
Wednesday at 8. Yeah. So if we're not answering your questions, we're not being rude.
No.
This time.
Yeah,
time.
for once.
Very good.
I'm
very
not in
good.
charge of that. I can't even see it. Can't even read it.
No.
No,
Do you want to?
just can't read.
You do the.
And then the
This
week
is your
after, we've got
moment,
Steve.
Alan.
Like, this is the only thing you've got me in here for.
This is your bit.
Anyway,
Go
time.
on. Very good. Thank you. Careful. Thank you for joining us. If you want to support the pod, you can do that on buymeacoffee.com/Finnegans. We'll send you some beer mats.
We would, yeah.
And
Send
we will
some
see you again in a few weeks' time.
Yeah.
For next season, season 5.
Season
Who would have
5.
thought it?
Wow.
Season 5.
Wow, we're like the Sopranos.
You keep saying, just keep going, and eventually this will go massive.
Yeah.
But we just keep going.
Just keep going. Wear ourselves out.
Thank you so much, Michael.
It's
Bless
been
you,
a
mate.
pleasure. Good
Yeah.
to see you
And we will
guys.
Fabulous.
see you again
Take
soon.
it easy.
Take care, everyone.
Ta-ra.
See you in a couple of weeks. Goodbye.
Gonna get me a religion. I'm gonna join the Baptist church. I am. Gonna get me a religion. I'm gonna join the Baptist church. That's right. Gonna be a Baptist preacher so that I won't have to work. Well, I'm in the pulpit, jumping up and down, 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 down. Yeah, I'm in the pulpit, jumping up and down. Okay. Well, I've been hollering good news all the miles around. My sister jumped up now. Ooh, she began to grin. Yeah, she did. Well, my sister jumped up. Ooh, she began to grin. She said, good Lord have mercy. Please forgive me for my sins.